All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So we are going to wrap up chapter 23 today with our discussion of microevolution and really just talk about a couple of caveats to all of this. Things that kids sometimes get lost in the background because of the way that we discuss how natural selection works. And the biggest thing is just to recognize that natural selection in and of itself is a process. There's nobody controlling this. There's nobody who's got any foresight in what those organisms might need down the road. So natural selection really never fashions a perfect organism. We're getting a set of characteristics in that environment over lots and lots of time that should be beneficial, but it's not a perfect system. We as humans could probably take a step back and go, I could think of a million different ways that that could be better. Or I could fashion something like that would work even better than what we currently have. So keep in mind that evolution at the ultimate end goal of all this is truly very much limited by historical constraints. So each species has a legacy of descent, right? Comes from a long line of ancestral forms that have been changed and modified to best suit the environment of the time. But if that organism continues to survive, that environment is inevitably going to change. And so hopefully that organism has what it needs to adapt and change and function in that new environment. But that's not always the case. Adaptations are often compromises, right? So just because that particular characteristic that we're studying is clearly not the best choice, if the organism as a whole is more successful, then even sometimes those less adaptive or even sometimes completely maladaptive characteristics continue to hang on simply because collectively you're better off. And it's just chance and natural selection interacting with each other at the time. So if you don't have that characteristic, or we never mutate to develop that characteristic, it's not going to show up. If we happen to eliminate a particular variation somewhere along the way because it was just that bad and that maladaptive at that point in time, it doesn't matter that 50,000 years in the future, it would have been really helpful to have that variation. So natural selection can only favor the phenotypes that are present at the time and the phenotypes that are best for that given set of circumstances. If things change, hopefully you still have some variation in the population to work with, but it may not necessarily be the best option. We can only take what we've got.